Have you heard about this scam that's going on over the last year or so that the FBI says is wiping out people's entire life savings over the course of a couple of weeks? We're not talking just a couple of grand here, we're talking about the whole thing. And here's the part that'll make you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. This scheme isn't aimed at people who you would typically think of as susceptible to some sort of scam. No, it's aimed at people like you and me with real money in the bank. Because evidently, that's where the big payoff is. Lucky us. So the crooks that have been running this scheme have started getting so good at it that smart, financially literate people are handing over 7 figures or even more, all while thinking that what they're doing is protecting their nest egg. So today I'm going to show you 3 things. 1, exactly how this scam works step by step so you know what to look out for. 2, the warning signs that you or someone you love is being targeted. And 3, a simple checklist to lock everything down so that even if a scammer happens to catch you on a bad day, they can't actually make your money disappear. Look, I don't want to scare the crap out of you with this stuff, but just being aware of it and having a playbook to deal with it will go a long way toward protecting yourself. Now, the best way to defend against any scam is to recognize when it happens, so let me show you how this works. Okay, picture this. You're on your laptop watching your favorite retirement planning YouTuber, of course, and suddenly a pop-up appears on your screen. It tells you that your computer has been compromised and you need to call Microsoft or Apple for support. And when you call, a calm professional voice answers. He's helpful, he's patient, and over the next 3 weeks, he and 2 other people are going to try to convince you to wire your entire life savings out of your accounts. This is called the phantom hacker scam, and it works in 3 acts. Act 1 is the tech support imposter. So Act 1 starts with either that pop-up that I mentioned, an email, or a phone call claiming that your device has been compromised in some way. The support agent that you end up talking to will try to walk you through installing some software on your device so that he can fix the problem. But what he's actually installed is remote access on your computer. But even though he may have access to your computer right now, he doesn't just go for your accounts right away. No, instead, he tells you that while he was fixing some things, he noticed some suspicious activity tied to your bank account or brokerage account. And he lets you know that someone from your bank or brokerage firm's fraud department will be contacting you for next steps. And that brings us to Act 2, the financial institution imposter. So now a second person calls saying that she works for the fraud department at your bank or brokerage firm. And she confirms what you've feared to be true: a foreign hacker has indeed gotten access to your accounts. The only way to keep your money safe, she says, is to move your money to a secure third-party account, such as an account at the Federal Reserve or some other government agency, while they investigate this fraud. And at that point, she starts helping you step by step with the transfer instructions. And to avoid tripping any alarms at your bank or brokerage firm, these transfers might often be broken into several transactions over the course of a few weeks. At this point, and maybe during the course of these few weeks of transfers, our next player enters the scene. This is Act 3, the government imposter. When you eventually start to get nervous about all of this, which you probably should be at this point, the third person in this scam shows up. He says he's from the Federal Reserve, and he reassures you that yes, this is all legitimate, and yes, your money is absolutely being protected. And to make all of this look legit, you may even receive a physical letter from him on what looks like official government letterhead confirming all of this. So at this point in the scam, you've heard from 3 different official sounding people, all telling you the same story. But they're all in it together, and your money's gone. And while it's easy to hear about this scam and say to yourself, I'm not naive enough to start wiring money anywhere, much less the Federal Reserve, all they have to do is catch you on a bad day when you're stressed out or have too much on your plate. And the reason that this scam is so nefarious is that there's no Nigerian prince, no lottery winnings, and no too good to be true returns. Instead, it hijacks your instinct to protect your nest egg, and it uses that instinct as a weapon against you. Simply knowing the 3 acts of this scam is your first line of defense against it. But while some of the details of the scam may vary, the playbook is often the same. And it has tells, specific moments where the veneer of legitimacy slips. Let me show you what they are. So every version of this scam leans on the same handful of steps. If you can learn to see the pattern here, the specifics of the story won't matter. Instead, you'll be able to catch it every time. Here are the 5 tells. Number 1 is an unsolicited contact about a problem that you didn't report. Always be suspicious of any type of call, email, text, or pop-up letting you know that you have some suspicious activity in your accounts. Do not respond directly to these alerts. Instead, log in as you normally would or call the bank by using the number on the back of your card. Don't just trust that the phone number on the alert is the correct one. Number 2, pressure and urgency. If anyone tells you that you've got to act right now or you'll lose everything, that's a massive red flag. Legitimate institutions are fine with you hanging up and calling back. Scammers are not, because time lets you think about what you're doing. Number 3, any request to move money to somewhere safe. This is a big one because no real bank or brokerage firm will ever ask you to wire money, buy gift cards, or send cryptocurrency to protect yourself. I hope we've all got that one, right? Number 4 is secrecy. If you're ever told to not discuss this with anyone, even your spouse or your financial advisor, because the investigation is confidential, good chance it's a scam. They want you isolated, and they want to prey on your sense of embarrassment about getting hacked. The second that you start to talk to someone about this, the scam starts falling apart. Number 5 is a request for remote access to your devices. The instant that someone that you didn't hire wants remote access to your computer or phone, the conversation needs to be over. Okay, look, we all have bad days. So what do you do if you find yourself in the middle of something like this? Number 1 is to stop talking. You don't owe a caller anything. Hang up and feel free to be a little rude about it. The amount of profanity that you use is completely up to you. Next, independently verify. Find the phone number yourself from the back of your card or your official statement and call it. Never use a number, link, or contact that the other person gave you. And finally, talk to someone you trust. This could be your spouse, your friends, or your financial advisor. Sometimes just talking it through with someone that you know is all it takes. So recognizing these tells can protect you in the moment. And one more thing to mention here, I can imagine that with all this AI stuff that's going on these days, that there's going to come a time where scammers start impersonating the voices of people that we know and trust. That's something to think about. Okay, all this is very scary stuff, but there are a few steps that you can take right now to protect yourself before you're ever approached by one of these scammers. Now, the real trick here is to not try to be so hyper vigilant that you never fall for a scam. No, what you want to do is build out a few fail-safes in the event that you encounter one of these scams while you're on the way home from spending 3 hours in line at the DMV, because we would all be vulnerable in that case. Here are your steps. Number 1, add a trusted contact to your accounts. Your brokerage firm will let you name a trusted contact. Usually this is an adult child or a very close friend. In fact, they're really encouraging this these days. Now, this person can't make any trades or transfer any money or anything like that. They're simply someone that the firm can call if they see something strange going on your accounts and they can't contact you directly. This is kind of a powerful and underused tool, especially if you're single and it costs you nothing. This is something that you can do within the next week, by the way. Number 2, turn on alerts for your accounts. Log in and switch on notifications for the things that matter the most. Withdrawals or distribution requests, beneficiary change, or any change to an address, email, or phone number, logins from a new device, and any large trades or transfers out. Most people rarely make big withdrawals, so an alert for one is either something you already know about or it's a massive problem that you want to know about right now. Number 3 is you can ask if you can set up a verbal confirmation rule. Some custodians can place a hold that requires a verbal confirmation or even a wait period before money can leave your account. Ideally, we want to prevent anyone, including someone impersonating you, from having the ability to wire money out of your accounts without an extra verification step. Number 4 is to use strong passwords and two-factor authentication. Don't use the same password for every account. Don't use 1234 as your password. And if you are doing that, you need to cut that shit out right now. Use a password manager like 1Password or LastPass and have them generate complex passwords randomly. Turn on two-factor authentication for all of your critical accounts. If you can use something like Touch ID or Face ID, even better. And if you ever get a one-time code that you didn't request, well, that might be a live attack. Do not share that with anybody. Okay, number 5 is to create a family safe word and a verification habit. This is kind of going old school here, but agree on a simple rule with your spouse, kids, or anybody that might be involved in any of this, that any urgent money request, especially one involving secrecy, gets verified out loud with the family first. With AI voice cloning now being realistic, a shared safe word for prove it's really you is no longer just being paranoid, it's being smart. Number 6 is to keep your software updated. Update your devices regularly so that known security holes get patched. Never let anyone that you didn't independently contact to take remote control of any of your devices. And just assume that every unexpected pop-up, text, or call about a security problem is a potential hacking attempt. So this phantom hacker scam and scams like it don't work because their victims are foolish. Instead, they work because their victims are alone, rushed, or just having a bad day. So take this checklist that we just went over, knock out one thing per day, come back the next day and do the next thing until you're all done. Before you know it, you'll be way more protected from scammers than you were before. And hey, look, if you need help with your retirement planning, please check out my firm. There's a link in the description. And if you got something out of this video, please consider subscribing. I've been making these videos for 9 years now, and I would love your help getting to 100,000 subscribers. Hey, look, I want your retirement and your life to be an amazing one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.